So, greetings, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, likers, dislikers, commenters, new subscribers, old subscribers, just generally anybody who is still paying interest in this series. We are, as of filming, we are a week after the show, the Motorcycle Plus show at the Aircon. And so much to talk about. First and foremost, I understand that it's the first year. I understand that the Facebook page is new. I understand that there was a whole lot build. So don't come at me. I know. I wanted to be proved wrong. So we're gonna start off by telling you what I did. I'm basically gonna tell you what I did. I walked in. Drove that big long drive to the car park from the into the Aircon. Parked up. There was about 40 bikes, maybe less, 30, 40 bikes parked up. It's good to see a bike, or it's good to see bikes at a bike show, first and foremost. Couple of guys did not look too happy, so that was not a red flag, but I was expecting something. So left my helmet in my box, left everything that needed to leave, lifted my GoPro, which I will just put the footage at the end, slightly sped up. You can watch it on YouTube and slightly slowed down. First thing I noticed was the front of the Aircon. The front of the Aircon is pretty memorable, and the first thing I seen was the metal fences, and they had the zigzags, and then it was out round here and up over round there. I personally think maybe that was a health and safety thing that had to be put in, but I also think it was a bit of an overreaction to for what it was for the bike show, because you could literally skip all of that, cut through and walk in. I didn't wait to get in. There was one person in front of me trying to get a wristband because she was with these people who had them, and she had to get one, and she wanted one and they didn't have it, and just carnage. So got in. Well, sorry, no, actually stop. Whoa, hold up. Two girls behind the, well, two girls in the box. Two in one in the other. Goes up to two girls, go, "Hey, can I pay by card?" And they both looked at each other and said, "Sorry, the card machine is actually broke. You'll have..." Now, 100% things like that on days like that will happen. I'm not dishing, "Oh, it broke, ooh." The card machine was broke. He mean, "Oh, right, okay, I don't have cash because, well, I'm not carrying cash." And they said, yeah, sure, just go into the show, turn left, and there's a cash machine. Red flag. Red flag. Personally, the cash machine should have been outside, but again, that is not the organizer's fault. That is the fault of the Aircon itself, having a cash machine inside the show. So you're having to direct people into the show, take a detour left, and then go to the cash machine, get money out, and come back out to the cashier to give them money. Did that, 100%. There was about 6 or 7 people in the queue, and I kid you not, when every person in that queue says they're very trustworthy, because if you had walked in the door and walked straight on, you were gone. You were hidden in the show. So, first sort of weird thing, and I wasn't too bothered. You know, I'm going to pay my money just because I will be the person that gets hauled in. So paid my money, Walked in. First and foremost, thanks to everybody who came up to me. He's made it for me. I wasn't expecting anybody. Met up. I seen my very good friend D-Mac from D-Mac Photography. You probably know him from doing track days at Bishop's Court, Kirkison, and just general photography and stuff. Met up with him, stood and talked, chatted to him for a good half hour, maybe more. That was about 3 feet into the front door of the show. I seen my good mate Ash from Mental Health Bikers. He was in representing them, which was great to see. Would have liked to have had him had a table, but hey ho, don't know what happened. But we digress. Chatted to him for another half hour. So I was there already, there a good hour, nearly. So decided need to walk around, need to see what I can see. First impressions. First stand when you come in on the right hand side was the Charles Hurst Yamaha and BMW Motorrad stand. Previous shows, massive stand. This year, I mean, they had 2 sections with carpet tiles on it, and I'd say about a selection of 10, maybe 15 bikes on both stands, and loads of staff, which was great because you could go over and talk about the bike. But that was it for a motorcycle show. For Joe Biker who wants to come in and just sit on the new models and, you know, try out different bikes for size and talk to the guys and girls who know what these bikes are. That was it. That was it. Charles Hurst, absolutely love them. Absolutely love talking to the guys and the girls there. But to me, it didn't represent their stock. You know, I think 2019 they had a massive big stand, big all load of bikes, different things going. This year it looked like they just couldn't be bothered. Now this isn't this isn't like, you know, they just decided not to. It just felt like it was just, there's a handful of bikes and we'll put the tags on them. We'll talk to you, but that, you know, they were lumped into a corner too, which was bizarre. And we had Visor Shop, had a small stand, heard a very load of mixed reviews. I don't want to comment because I don't personally know. I only heard rumors and comments off other people. You had Visor Shop. So got past those and I hooked down the right hand side past the toilets, and there was stands for your helmet. There was helmets on sale, there was pictures, there was art pieces, there was a whole different stuff. There was about 6 in that line of just like individually blocked off, how would you say, even cabin sort of cubicles. Right down the bottom you had what was pretty much a large hardware shop. Like, I get it. Tools are a part of motorcycling. No matter how you try and format it, tools will always be part of motorcycling, and you'll always draw a crowd just for having tools. So there was the big tool section right at the bottom. Now, you kind of walked in between the cubicle and the tool section, and it wrapped back round to go back up. And then you had, there was a rally car, there was something else, and then you had like a couple of race teams. You had the police there, bike safe. You had the ear plugs, mold, insta molds, and a selection of stuff there. But as you were walking up, it just opened up. There was just a big space. There was the Gold Wing Club, another bike racing team, and then just this mass big space beside the JMC racing team's massive big trailer. It didn't feel like it was packed with stuff to see. It just felt like we have this selection of actually I'll put it up here. No, actually I'll put it up here. Is the actually I'll put it up here. This is actually the floor plan. Went to the end. They had like a little section of like a handful of bikes. I think that the Saturday when I went, it was all bikes and like a go-kart or something. Up in the top corner behind Brat Moto, there was the Magic Bullet guys who had their Formula One car. And then right down the other end, they had the little display with a whole load of bikes in it and a whole load of the vintage stuff and modern stuff, which had the Malenko bike and stuff there. And then on the Sunday, they took a couple of bikes away and put a rally car, which I don't know. And then just slammed into the corner, was the air ambulance. Like literally, if you go to the aircon, the air ambulance is right beside there, and they shoved him in the corner. They had 4 bikes, 4 pretty prestigious bikes, and had a good chat with the guy who validates the bikes. Shout out to him. And that was it. Really, 10 minutes. If you walked fast, you could do it in 5, but 10 minutes and you were basically round the show. And as I said, I was there for about two and a half hours. Now, when I say I was there for about 2.5 hours, most of that was talking to people who seen these videos, stopped and had a chat, or just people that I knew from different stands, stopped and had a chat with them, checked out their stands, and it wouldn't. I'm finding it hard to gauge what I mean, but £15 for that show was not worthy of the money. I get that the show's the first show since 2019. I get it that it's new organisers. I get it that, it's the start of the motorcycling season in Northern Ireland. But it just felt awfully lumped together. And I know the funny thing is when I took a week, I told myself I would take the week after the show just to keep reading comments and going onto their page and reading the comments on the page. And what I was seeing was an awful lot of the vendors, the businesses who paid to be there, taking a lot of flack for the event. Now, first and foremost, it isn't the vendors' fault for the show being the way it is. It's the organisers' fault. People say, "Oh, but it was great. It was well publicised." Facebook and Instagram. I had people come up to me in Lisburn like the week before and ask me when it was on. People in Lisburn didn't know it was on. So I'm finding it pretty hard to understand. Now, when I was talking to Davey from Brat Moto, he says 100% the first couple of hours of the show packed. You couldn't walk. But it was like that. Half empty. I mean, you have the catering vans there, they're charging their own prices. You have the organisers running around. I don't know what they were doing. I think they were just keeping the interviews on schedule or running and getting different people. But all in all, it was I was salty about having to pay the money. And yes, I was put down on the press list to get press passes, but I opted to pay for it because it didn't feel right not paying for it. So, do I think the show will be run next year? Now, this is a question I've been asked on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere I've talked about the show. I've been asked this one question: do I think this show will be run next year? And yes, they're going to run it next year because they're going to say it was a success and, you know, they did well and this, that, and the other. But unless this show bucks up its ideas, it's gonna be another flop. Sorry, because personally, number one, the show wasn't advertised to the wrong people, and it was advertised a show for all. Now, yes, 100% give clubs and small businesses, like I have said before, give them attention, but make the show worthy of getting a crowd in to give those people attention. There was literally one, if you count the Charles Hurst stand as one stand, there was one stand for the whole show that you could go and sit on a bike. All the rest of them had signs up going, do not sit on, do not touch. I get it. But at the end of the day, you're advertising it for the start of the motorcycle season. The start of the motorcycle season consists of people wanting to sit on motorcycles to see what they're going to buy for that season. Are they going to stick with their bike? Are they going to sell this? Are they going to buy that? Will they buy this? That's what it's all about. But this one wasn't like that. It was, do you want to do off-road racing? Do you want to see this club? Do you want to try road racing? Do you want to know more? Do that as well. But you could have afforded to fit a load more in. Now, I haven't talked to and I probably will never talk to the dealerships that didn't go. But I'd be interested to know why they didn't go. It is tough to be impartial and stay positive about events when you read press releases and stuff. It is impartial. It is hard because you're basically in the pocket. You're getting the information before everybody else. You're able to make stuff and benefit from it before everybody else. Blah blah blah. But when you get the feeling one or two press releases in that it's gonna be the same as every other show leading up, if not worse than prior shows, it's hard to get excited. Now, off the back of this, I am possibly going to the Edinburgh Bike Show, which I'm gonna do my little travel vlog as I always do with that, and I hope to hell I can go to that and say, well, here, I'd rather go to Edinburgh than go to my own one. And I wish I could say, no, I'm going to stick with my own one. I also want to state one thing I've said on social media a few times. I would run my own show and I would cram it full of everything. That is a joke. I have had so many people at the show going, when is your show? Now, if I had the money, I would do it, but I don't, so, oh well. How would I make the show better? How would I make the Northern Ireland Motorcycle Show better? Number one, the name. Drop the plus, Motorcycle Show. Northern Ireland Motorcycle Show. There we go, with clear line in the sand. It's going to be motorcycles. Number two, get every dealership in the country either a discounted place or get them excited to get there and be there. Number three, fill the aircon with as much as humanly possible. If you can't fill the aircon, pick a smaller venue. Fill that. Start small. Work up to the aircon. It's not rocket science. Number 4, advertise the living Jesus out of it. Just don't Facebook post sponsored Facebook posts and Instagram pictures of shows that were 2, 3 years, 4 years before. You have to. It has to be as soon as this one ends, the advertising for the next one should start. I'm not a marketing genius. It's not hard. If your show can't fill one big place, go get small place and fill it. Charge people a bit less, get more people in. It's simple. I'm going to go to a show in a couple of weeks' time. It's actually next week, or the week before, or week after. And it's a voluntary donation. Now, I know they're an organisation, and I know the organisation needs to meet, break even and profit and loss and all that there. I know that. But if a show in a church hall can run every year successfully and pack the church hall out and have a voluntary donation for a charity, but you can't make the aircon full of stuff and fill it full of people, and you're charging, there's something's not right. £15 for that show was just too much money. But again, some of the posts are a bit weird on Facebook. There's some of the posts on Facebook that you can see that there is comments, but it says like 10 comments, but so when you go in and you go sort by newest, there's all comments, there's none. That strikes a suspicion with me, that just something about that doesn't. Now, I've tried on several people's accounts to go on and it does the same. I'm hoping that the vendors give proper feedback and not some distorted rose-tinted glasses view. I hope they give an honest review. If you're a person who were at the show, leave a comment on their Facebook and just tell them what you thought of it. They need to take the feedback and they need to take it and be constructive about it. But as I said, I have a funny feeling it's not going to happen. I have a funny feeling that next year it's not going to be the same as this year. Well, I know that, but it's going to be probably around something the same. I can't see a reason why it would be different, unless they get some sort of major funding, which I doubt. But as it says, the blog is in the link down below. Go check that out. If you think I'm being unfair, go and go and look on Facebook, go and look everywhere, go check that blog out. I'm not the only one that was disappointed. Now, I will admit, I wanted to go to the show and be proved wrong. I wanted to be proved wrong. But when I was asked when I left by someone who knew me, what did I think of the show? And did they prove me right or wrong? I couldn't answer and say, oh, they proved me wrong. They proved me right. It's so hard. But that is the debrief. That is it all over. You'd be thankful. Thank you for everybody who has watched this playlist and bared with me and all the controversies. Every now and again, if there's something comes up, I'll add to it, but we'll just we'll put the mothballs in this one. As always, if you did go to the show, drop your comment down in the comment section down below. I'll read them. I'll reply to them. If any of them have a question in it that I can answer and get a video out of, I will do that. As always, don't forget, keep it lit. And if you can't keep it lit, run your own bike show because it's probably a lot more popular.
Incoming!